welcome to Italian Garden. My name's John, and I am your host. Here today I wanted to do two things. I'm not on camera today, I just wanted to do a quick little episode, talk to you guys. One thing I want to do is do a quick review. Somebody asked me a little while ago that they could never find a review of somebody who did their strawberry gutter planter or anything, or do a second update, so I'm going to do that right here. Basically what I found with the strawberry gutter planter, you can see all those runners there. I need to trim off and maybe start some new plants out of them. But these plants, they did extremely well early season when I was actively fertilizing them a lot. But when I decided not to fertilize them, they just didn't have enough enough depth here in the pot or the gutter to really produce any more strawberries when I was actively fertilizing them. And I was fertilizing them with a good amount of fertilizer about every 2 weeks. They were flowering like mad. The strawberries coming from them were very sweet, delicious. So what I found from this is that although it was a good idea, you really need like some sort of vertical drip line or an NS, or like almost like a half NST system with some nutrients in there going through and watering at a diluted amount every single time. Or you need to get more depth in your pot. I would recommend another maybe 4 inches of depth at minimum for a strawberry to produce fruit without you having to fertilize it every 2 weeks. You could fertilize every month and it would be fine. So that's pretty much what I found, was that they did great up here high where the sun hit them a lot of the day, but they were really bad when it comes to watering. They would wilt constantly. I had to water them 3 or 4 times a day because there just wasn't enough soil in there. So I'm thinking about probably redoing this come winter, definitely before spring hits. Probably going to take these gutters off is what I'm thinking, and I'm going to use the gutters as a catch below a wooden box. Probably is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a stand because in the area right here, I can't really put a wooden box on the fence because the fence isn't strong enough to hold that much soil. It would just fall over because this fence isn't too sturdy. So I'm just going to do a stand with, and then anchor it to the fence so that it's not completely being held all by the fence's stability. So it'll have stability on its own down here on the ground with pylons. And I'll do that, and I'll have, a good maybe foot to almost a foot, maybe like 8 or 9, 10 inches of growing space for them on each level. And I think that'll do a lot better. And then I'll put the gutters with holes in them already underneath of them, so on this level anyway, so it'll catch water that's coming through, and it'll just water the ones down below. So I can only have to water the top, just go all the way through, water the top, and any nutrients that falls through or leaches out will also go into the bottom. So the bottom will probably be a little bit more prosperous than the top will. So that's going to be my plan. I'll do an episode on it when I do it here in a few months. But in the meantime, I'm going to clip all these suckers off here, these runners, because there are a lot of them, and probably plant them somewhere in the yard. Have a few more strawberries around. The one thing they did produce a lot of this year without any added saying so or fertilizing is runners, because they want to get out of there. They know they don't have enough root space, and that's definitely evidence of it. Whenever they put out an insane amount of runners like that, they want to have more root space and they want to survive. So definitely not enough space here. So I'm going to go over the other side of the yard. I'm going to show you the Joraform and the compost. Here is the compost I just harvested from the Joraform. It's about a half a wheelbarrow full, probably around 2 cubic feet or so. There's the Joraform empty, and here is a bucket of here's a bucket of uncomposted stuff that I pulled out by hand. I don't have a what are they called, a sieve, so I just took it out by hand basically, and I just pull out all the big chunks and stuff. Those stuff will go all in to one of these. I'm going to start just filling them up here the same way I did, except for one thing I'm going to be adding besides the I'm going to be adding the nitrogen, which is from the coffee grounds, and we'll be adding some paper, but also I'm going to be adding dried leaves and leaves that aren't completely brown yet. So that's an added boost. It's kind of leaves like this that they've fallen off, but they're not brown yet. Those will go in there, and they'll be a good little nitrogen source, and when they break down, some carbon source. I also have some leaves that are dried. I just went around my neighborhood since in the fall time, everybody's trying to get rid of their leaves such as this, and they're all scattered like my lawn is. They're all scattered around. They're all raking them up, and they're putting them out on the curb down by the street. My street's over there. They're putting them down by the street, and the city comes through and they scoop them all up with their street sweepers, and the street sweeper comes through and then it dumps it at the recycling facility. The recycling facility takes all those leaves and mulch and then turns it into compost, along with a lot of this stuff. That's all grape skins and seeds. They take a lot of that stuff, they mix it all together and make a compost and then sell it back to you. So what I've been doing is I've been going around and I've been going through, picking up all the leaves off the ground on the end of the street before the sweet sweeper comes through, and taking those leaves and storing them so that or dumping them on this compost pile, whichever one, and kind of letting them break down on their own. This compost pile is an anaerobic compost pile. I don't turn it very much, so it has some aerobics, but I don't turn it very much because it's very hard to turn. So it's somewhat anaerobic. So I just leave that like that. Anaerobic compost piles are fine. You don't really, it's not bad. Anaerobics is not bad. Like, that's a misconception that a lot of people find out, is that anaerobic compost piles, they think that they're all bad, they'll kill your plants, but that's not true. It is a form of decomposition, and no matter what, when it's fully decomposed, when it's fully decomposed, it's going to feed your plants. It's going to have nitrogen, it's going to have phosphorus, it's going to have calcium, it's going to have all those things that your plant needs. So all of this here, breaking down like this, it takes a lot longer, but it still works, and that's what I aim to go for. I'm taking a pile that's going to sit here for a year, maybe more, and it's going to compost at the bottom. I'm going to mix it up and take the stuff off the top, and then grab the stuff at the bottom, and that stuff will be taken out, and then the rest of it will be left to compost again. So basically, I'm going to fill this up with some leaves and all that stuff. I'm going to get another compost batch going. This batch took about, I think it's only been about a month and a couple weeks, or a month and 2 weeks, something like that. And it's pretty much, everything is 90% composted on this, and the smell coming off from it is a very earthy, nice smell. So this is aerobic composting, and this is a lot faster. It has a benefit to it, yes, more so than anaerobic composting, because it's not just nutrients, it's also alive and bacteria that is definitely not going to benefit most of your plants. But yeah, the aerobic composting is more highly sought after that it's done, but you don't need to do aerobics. If you have bad back and you don't have a compost stuff like this, you can't afford one, and all you want to do is just make a pile, do the pile. It's still going to work for you guys. It's still going to make compost. It's still going to feed your garden. It's still going to be easier on you. You're not going to have to sit there and turn it all the time. You're not going to have to worry about it. You just throw it in a pile, let it decompose, grab it when you need it, when it's ready. Of course, don't grab it when it's not ready. And then put it out on your garden and your beds and stuff, and that'll work perfectly for you. So there are many ways of doing it, but I think a combination of both is a good way, because you have your fast compost, you can pump out a lot, and then when you have this already going full, you have your other compost pile. You can just throw there any material that you don't want, or you can actually use later and put it into this if you wanted to, and just kind of store material and let it slowly decompose by itself. So anyway, guys, as I said, I'm probably gonna put this out on my garden right now, and on my beds, I'm gonna put a nice layer on each bed, fill it up, top it up, so that there's some new soil in there, and then I'll probably do it again come spring with some fresh compost. So this stuff will break down during the winter from the worms, because since I live in zone 8B, my worms have a really long time to work. They only go kind of dormant when it hits like February for like, and it's only a month time or so when the really freezing temperatures come and we get into the 20s or the 30s. So last year we got into like 11. It was a pretty cold year, but the worms will stay active all that time. They'll just keep eating stuff. So I'm going to put them on the beds, and it really attracts the worms in, and they eat all this stuff, and they compost it down into a really nice worm casting compost mixture. And then I'll do it again in the spring to just add compost so that fertilizes them too, and they have enough nutrients to last them almost through all summer. I mean, I will fertilize, but it'll still be a lot of organic matter. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I need to get this stuff done, and hope everybody has a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out, and you know, converse with me. Ask me questions if you have questions, and please, don't be afraid to talk to everybody on the channel. This is a channel where, like, I'm not gonna let anybody pick on anybody else. If that happens, I don't really stand for that. So please don't be afraid to voice your opinion or talk to me or say something, and I'll talk back. I try to answer every question possible, so everybody can do that. But anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in.